The first time she noticed it was over something stupid. A video. Just a short clip on her phone. A dog trying to climb onto a couch and failing in the most dramatic way possible. Months ago, she would have turned immediately. "Look at this!" And he would have laughed before the video even started. Not because it was funny, because she was laughing. But that night, she watched it alone. Ethan sat beside her on the couch, the blue light from his phone reflecting across his face while the television hummed quietly in the background. She looked at him for a second, waited, then locked her phone and set it down without saying a word. And somehow, that tiny moment felt enormous. Like a door quietly closing somewhere deep inside her. Their relationship had never been loud. No slammed doors, no broken plates, no dramatic betrayals. If someone looked at them from the outside, they probably would have called them stable, safe, comfortable. They still ate dinner together most nights, still shared a bed, still texted each other things like, "Do we need milk?" or "I'll be home around 6. But somewhere along the way, their conversations had become maintenance, not connection. Every morning followed the same pattern. Ethan woke up first, started the coffee machine, scrolled through the news while standing in the kitchen. Maya would walk in half awake and he'd mumble, "Morning," without looking up. Then silence. The kind that slowly stops feeling peaceful and starts feeling empty. At first, she told herself it was normal. People got comfortable. Life got busy. That's what happened after years together, right? But lately, she had started noticing little things. Things she wished she couldn't see. Like how he never really looked at her anymore when she spoke. How his responses had become automatic. "How was your day?" "Fine." "How was yours?" Long. Then silence again. Like two coworkers ending a shift. One night, Maya spent almost an hour preparing dinner. Not because the meal mattered, because she wanted the evening to matter. Candles, music playing softly from her phone, pasta from scratch. She even wore the sweater Ethan once told her made her look beautiful. When he walked in, he barely noticed any of it. "Smells good," he said distractedly, dropping his keys onto the counter. Then he checked his phone before sitting down. During dinner, she tried. She really tried. She told him about a woman at work who quit her job to move to Italy. "How crazy is that?" she asked with a small smile. Ethan nodded. "Yeah, that was it. Just, yeah. No questions, no curiosity, nothing." And suddenly Maya became painfully aware of the sound of forks touching plates, of the refrigerator humming behind them, of how far away someone could feel while sitting 3 feet from you. That night, she stood in the bathroom brushing her teeth while Ethan lay in bed scrolling endlessly through his phone. She looked at his reflection in the mirror, and for one terrifying second, she realized she couldn't remember the last meaningful conversation they'd had. Not about bills, not about schedules, not about groceries. A real conversation, something honest, something alive. The realization hit quietly, which somehow made it worse. Weeks passed like that, quietly, slowly. like watching color fade from a photograph. Maya started talking less, not on purpose. It just became exhausting to throw pieces of herself into a room where nothing came back. One afternoon, her boss told her she was being considered for a promotion, a huge one, the kind of news she used to rush home to share. She imagined herself telling Ethan, imagined his distracted nod, his half-listening, "That's great, babe." And suddenly, she didn't want to tell him anymore. That scared her more than anything, because it wasn't anger, it wasn't resentment, it was absence, the absence of wanting to be known. Later that night, they sat together on the couch again. The television flickered softly across the room. Ethan laughed quietly at something on his phone. Maya looked at him, really looked at him. The familiar lines around his eyes, the gray beginning to appear in his beard. The man she once couldn't wait to come home to. And she wondered when exactly he had started feeling like a stranger she lived beside. Not all at once, not dramatically, just slowly, like winter arriving one cold morning at a time. A few days later, Maya stopped by a bookstore after work. She wandered without purpose until she found herself in the relationship section. One title caught her attention: How Couples Stop Seeing Each Other. She almost laughed at how painfully accurate it sounded. Then she noticed something strange. Nearly every highlighted sentence talked about invisibility. Not hate, not conflict. Invisibility. People don't always leave because they're unhappy. Sometimes they leave because they feel emotionally erased. Maya closed the book slowly and stood there longer than she meant to. That night, Ethan was already home when she walked in. "Hey," he called from the kitchen. She answered softly, "Hey." He was making tea, chamomile, her favorite. For a moment, she felt guilty. Maybe she was imagining things. Maybe they were just tired. Maybe every long relationship became quieter eventually. Ethan handed her the mug. Their fingers brushed briefly. And for a second, she remembered what it used to feel like to touch him. But then he looked back down at his phone, and the moment disappeared, just like that. Around midnight, Maya woke up thirsty. The apartment was dark except for the pale light from the living room television. Ethan had fallen asleep on the couch again, phone resting on his chest, TV still playing. Maya stood there, watching him, and suddenly she felt overwhelming sadness. Not because he was cruel, not because he had betrayed her, but because somewhere along the way, they had both stopped reaching for each other, and neither of them had noticed when it happened. The turning point came on a Tuesday, an ordinary Tuesday, which felt fitting. Maya had spent most of dinner staring at her untouched food while Ethan talked absent-mindedly about a problem at work. She listened carefully, asked questions, reacted, the way she always had. Then, halfway through his sentence, Ethan stopped and looked at her strangely. "You've been really quiet lately." The words landed harder than she expected, because he sounded confused, like he had only just noticed, like she hadn't already been disappearing for months. Maya stared at him for a long moment, then finally asked, "Would you even know what I'd say if I started talking again?" Ethan frowned slightly. "What does that mean?" But she couldn't answer because suddenly she realized something devastating. She didn't think he knew her anymore. And worse, she wasn't sure he wanted to. That night, Maya drove around for nearly an hour before going home. No destination, no music, just empty roads and streetlights reflecting across the windshield. At one point, she parked near a quiet overlook above the city and sat there alone, thinking. The strangest part was that nothing terrible had happened. No affair, no screaming fights, no betrayal. If someone asked her what was wrong, she wasn't sure she could explain it clearly. How do you explain the moment love slowly turns into habit? How do you explain grieving someone who's still alive? When she finally returned home, Ethan was asleep, the hallway light still on for her. Maya stood there for a while, watching him breathe, and she realized something painful. Love didn't always disappear in an explosion. Sometimes it faded in silence, in untouched conversations, in distracted replies. In all the moments two people stopped choosing to really see each other. She slipped quietly into bed beside him, close enough to touch, but somehow impossibly far away. And for the first time in years, home no longer felt like a place they shared. It felt like somewhere they both happened to live.